Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Kaya and I will be your guide for all things flash thoughts. I know you're probably wondering, what is flash thoughts? Flash thoughts is a family of resources that I developed and designed for multi-hyphenated creators to take ownership over their ideas and bring them to life. The meaning of a flash thought is a quick and unexpected occurrence of the mind. It's essentially a gift from your subconscious that can result in a new idea, a new solution, and a new reality. Studies say that we process about 6,000 thoughts a day. Can you imagine how many great ones pass us by when we don't write them down? After years of searching for the perfect thought companion, I could not find a solution that worked for me. They either did not have enough structure or they had way too much structure or too much fluff. So I created Flash Thoughts, a sketch planner with some simple techniques and tools to help you archive your ideas. The planner is a 90-day planner. It's only mapped out for 90 days because that is the time that it takes to form a new habit. It has a grid page that you can use to plan things out, make lists. There's so many possibilities with the grid page, and also with the blank page where it is there for you to have some free thought time, which is very important for creative problem solving. We all know that writing down your ideas is only part of it. You have to be able to work through those ideas, and the sketch planner is a great place to do that. We want to see all our ideas come to life, right? So real work starts when it's time to make it a reality. We have to work through our internal blocks and external roadblocks with things like self-doubt, anxiety, the limiting beliefs of others, lack of direction, wavering faith. Like there's all these things that come with bringing an idea to reality. For years, I battled with these myself. It was stifling and it definitely reflected in my day-to-day life. It forced me to sit down, strip myself down, and build myself back up into the successful multi-hyphenate that I am today. Who knows? Everything is possible, and that my version of success doesn't have to work for everyone or make sense for everyone. That is the most important aspect of this sketch planner. It's all about the individual who is using it and creating solutions that work best for them. Through my own trial and error, here are some of the realizations that I came to. Number one, you really do have to get real with yourself. You have to look at yourself objectively. You have to ask yourself questions, ask if you're living authentically, ask yourself why you are doing what you're doing, ask yourself, are you getting the results you want? Figure out what's working and what's not, what needs to be formed so that you can be your best self. This is not the time to lie to yourself. This is not the time to pacify yourself. You have to be real with yourself so that that can be the jumping off point for all the other important steps that are necessary to see your idea and dreams come to reality. Another thing that is very important is finding balance, and it's all about finding your balance. Again, you have to talk to yourself about what works for you, and it's not about what works for others. It's also not about perfection. Your version of balance does not have to be like a strict thing. It's just really about understanding the ebbs and flows of life and building up the tactics and the muscles so that you can withstand those ebbs and flows. And you also have to understand that ebbs and flows will happen. If you look at the yin yang, which is kind of this universal symbol of balance, you'll notice that there is a white and there's a black, and there's black within the white and there's white within the black. It means that there's good and bad in all parts. It's not void of that. And again, it's not about perfection. When you understand that, you can kind of take control over your energy and your emotions and find your bliss point so that you can find the most peace in your journey to creating the reality that you want. Another thing that you have to learn is that you have to be flexible. You have to understand that your journey is not about the when, the where, and the how. It's more about trusting the process and trusting yourself and your abilities, no matter the when, the where, and the how. Because let's face it, things don't always go to plan. Again, it ebbs and flows, and it's okay. When you are stiff, that's when the most damage happens. So, just loosen up. Everything will work out and go according to plan, especially if you do the work. The next thing that I learned is that it's always important to stay studied. You have to invest in yourself and knowledge. You can't hit a moving target. You never know enough. Always read up, always be honing in your skills, developing new skills, and be calculated in that. Be calculated in the steps that you take so that you can achieve greater results. Every day, there is an opportunity to better yourself and learn more and flex your brain muscles, ask questions, be a student, pay attention to the answers, stay open to lessons and possibilities. And of course, don't forget to write it all down in your Flashthought sketch planner. The next thing that I learned the hard way sometimes is that it is so important to get your rest. Society would have you believe that rest means that you're lazy and you're not doing what you have to do, but that is not true. And that is a very bad mindset to take on because your body needs rest. It's your body's and your brain's time to regenerate itself so that it could be working at its best capacity. If you overwork a machine, eventually it's going to shut down. We do not want that. So it's radical because forget what other people say about your rest time. Resting means, shutting off. But it's also about taking time to do things that feed your soul, like exploring new hobbies and passions. Those don't always necessarily have to be in pursuit of, your dreams. Sometimes you can just do things for the sake of, shutting off, unplugging, and you just giving yourself that opportunity to regenerate. The next thing that I learned and I take on is fear. And it's not necessarily fear in general, it's really that irrational fear. Fear is your body's indication to sit back and ask yourself questions, but it's the irrational fear that keeps you stuck when you do not take the time to understand the origin of those feelings. Fear is like your intuition. When I start to feel like that uncomfortable feeling, I definitely take time to be like, why am I feeling this way? And if I cannot pinpoint why I'm feeling that way, I usually just work past that fear. A lot of fear comes from, the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, the uncertainty, when really when you know that you have done the work, there is no reason to be fearful. Trust yourself and don't let fear get in the way. Last but not least is to keep the faith. A lot of successful outcomes arise from high pressure situations. So when you find yourself in those uncomfortable situations, when you don't necessarily know what's going to happen next, that's when it's the most important to keep going and be consistent. Don't let hardships or roadblocks take you off your path. No path is easy, and especially the path to the top. But when you know again that you have done the work and you understand all the moving parts that are involved and that you don't necessarily have control over all of them, you will be better off. Understand that you will be tested. Understand that the only thing that you have control of is yourself and your mindset and your abilities, and that will definitely help you continue to keep the faith. And when you do that, there are so many amazing possibilities that can arise and come from that. So yeah, those are like the things that I have learned, kind of packaged up into 7 steps, but they're so important because they address not only the internal thoughts and beliefs, but it also addresses the external things that happen. And the biggest thing that came from me understanding those was that I really can do it all. And so can you. With the right mindset, the right tools, the right habits, you really can achieve it all. It's not about eliminating ideas, eliminating dreams. It's really about systems and processes, and again, your habits and mindset that really result in your idea of a successful life. It's all about the things that you tell yourself, self love, and blocking out preset notions. Because society would have you believe that you have to choose one thing, but it's not true. In fact, it is said that having a diverse interest can inspire the next great idea and inspire you to take steps that you probably wouldn't have taken if you just focused on one thing. You have the choice to do what is best for you. Being a multi hyphenate, it's this technical term, but essentially it's just somebody who plays multiple roles. So it's like for me, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a graphic designer, I'm a business owner, I'm an artist, amongst all these other things. And I love all those aspects of my life. They all inform and inspire the next. And it's all about you taking control and ownership and choosing to design a life that you love. The 90-Day Head Start is a 12-week program where you and a diverse group of individuals will be working together through a series of lessons, and we will be tackling everything it takes to bring our ideas and dreams to life. It will be offered in two parts. The first part is about the internal, taking a deep dive and understanding our motivators, being objective, and developing the ability to advocate for ourselves and our dreams. Part two is all about transforming our realities, focusing on our habits and our abilities. We will be workshopping through our ideas and being proactive and efficient creators. This program is all about building community, confidence, and honing in on your individual power. We will be teaching you how to create actionable and repeatable plans so that you can live the life that you want and that you deserve. I have done lots of research over the years. I've even attended, conferences and my fair share of courses that promised a transformation, but I found that it lacked consideration for the individuals that were taking it. It was kind of like a one size fits all solution. It's important to have the right mindset and do all that work, but it's also important to know that success takes action. Your most valuable muscle is your brain. It all starts with a flash thought, that spark that gets you to take the action. So that is what Flash Thoughts, this family of resources, is all about. We're passionate about creating a healthy relationship with yourself and your thoughts. And I know that this experience will result in you understanding that your possibilities and your abilities are limitless when you make the choice to understand them and work through them. I just know that this will result in a life-changing transformation because that's what it did for me. Like I said, I went through the feelings of self doubt. I went through the questioning, like, am I where I'm supposed to be? But one thing that I know is that it is never too late to take ownership and take a hold of those limiting beliefs and transform them into the belief that anything is possible. Ask yourself, what are the possibilities for my life when I decide to take action and advocate for myself?